What's up, everyone? So I need to shake some shit out of my body right now. Feeling kind of triggered right now. Like to shake my hands, shake my arms, move your joints, because every emotion that we experience throughout our lives moves through our body and either moves out of our body or stores in our body. And so a great way to move emotion through when you're struggling is to move your body. Move your body, get outside, take a run, connect with the earth, and let the earth heal you. So did you know that the earth emits an electromagnetic frequency that actually physically heals our bodies? So when we are sick, going outside and sitting in the sun and connecting with the earth is freaking huge. It's massive to our healing process and absolutely supports our mind, body, and soul. So do it. All right. I feel better already just being on here. I'm going to bring it now. Change my vibration. I'm in a low vibe right now. I got to bring it up. We're always pivoting, right? This is life. We learn to pivot. When we become master pivoters, life becomes very delicious because the higher vibration that we sit in, the more often we sit in that high vibration, the more beautiful things that we call into our life. People, places, and things, all of the beautiful people, places, and things that want to come to us, but can only come to us if we are open to receive, if we're in that same high vibration. Okay, so what are we talking about today? We are talking about how our children model us and the importance of us being good role models, right? Learning to control our emotions. Showing them how to move through their emotions in a positive, beneficial way. Have you ever heard the saying, do as I say, not as I do? I heard that many times as a child. It's such bullshit. It is such bullshit. I do not say that to my kids. I used to. I did say it before I became aware of the massive impact that it has on our children to say something like, do as I say, not as I do. When in reality, neurologically, our kids, their brain is formed by watching us. So you think about a little baby that is learning to eat and how at some point in development, they reach their hand out, right? They reach their hand out and they grab the food. They learned that by watching us perform that behavior over and over again. And so kids are modeling our behavior. And we know this, right? You know that your kids are watching you. We know that our kids oftentimes use the same words as us, the same phrases. They're listening, they're modeling our behavior, but how intentional are you about creating positive behaviors to model? How thoughtful are you of the fact, for instance, that when you lose your temper and get angry and scream at someone or scream at them or toss something across the room or fling something or punch the wall? People do that too, right? How thoughtful are you about the fact that they are watching you, that they're watching your behavior, and that this is not just a simple process of witnessing, it's actually imprinting on their mind. It's creating neural pathways in their brain that become very strong neural pathways that create that as a standard of behavior for them to exhibit throughout their lives. And these pathways as they're witnessed and performed, become myelinated, which means they become really fucking strong pathways. And it's really hard to demyelinate a strong neurological pathway in your brain. And so every time we yell at our kids, which I totally just did, like I am not innocent. I don't yell at them very often, but I just was so triggered just now. I just yelled at all my kids. I'll tell you why in a minute. But every time we perform these behaviors, it just chink, chink, chink. It's like a train. You know how trains are all connected? You're like, boom, train, boom, train, boom, train. Fucking trains are heavy, right? Trains are heavy. It's not easy to take the train apart to dismantle it from one piece or the next. Something to think about. Something to think about. And then when you lose your shit and have a negative behavior around your child, how are you dealing with that afterwards? Because we all lose our shit sometimes, right? We're not perfect. Like I'm going to go have a conversation with my kids after this. We all lose our shit. But then are you are you acknowledging that your behavior was not positive? Are you expressing love and empathy to them for the fact that they just witnessed that behavior and that it like wasn't cool and that it wasn't okay? Like, what's your process? Have you ever really thought of that? Because it's really important. It's really important. And I want to acknowledge the fact that as we become intentional about these behaviors and as we become aware of the effect that we're having on our kids when they're seeing these behaviors, we take our power back. Awareness is key. We take our power back and we can intentionally shift that behavior, and it becomes easier. So like I used to lose my shit a lot. I don't lose my shit as much as I used to. It's really rare, actually. As long as I'm doing the work and staying in tune and really taking the time for myself and meditation and self-care, getting outside and doing physical activities, I am a much better mother and friend, communicator, and I'm far more in alignment. So I'm much less likely to lose my shit. And you owe it to yourself. You owe it to the people around you, but first you owe it to yourself. Because once you realize that you owe it to yourself, everything else falls into place. Everyone else benefits around you. And so think about that. The next time that you're about to have a temper tantrum in some way, have negative behavior around your kids, breathe. Oh, the breath will reconnect you to your heart and calm your nervous system. And then there are all kinds of other benefits too. It's not just outside of you and what your kids are seeing, but it's your health benefits. Blood pressure regulation. You're protecting your heart because these negative neurochemicals that are released when we scream and yell and have a negative reaction have a really negative impact on our physical body. You know that. I'm just reminding you. So I'll give you a specific example. I'm like struggling emotionally today for some reason. I'm moving some shit through my body. And I'm very aware that I'm struggling a little bit. And I'm absolutely, when I get done here, going to go do some extra work, some extra meditation, go outside, get my feet on the ground, maybe sit in the grass for a little while, connect with the earth. So I'm aware that I'm struggling. So I'm aware that my triggers are I'm going to be triggered more easily, right? And so what happened for me just now is that I made breakfast for my kids. I'm water fasting today. I'm on day 2. Epic, amazing. If you've never tried it, it's only 3 days. You're not going to die. If you've got diabetes or something, don't do it if you're pregnant or nursing. squirrel, and I'm not hungry. Like I actually am okay, but I made all of them breakfast. I took the time to make them breakfast, and like nobody ate their fucking breakfast. Really? And I kind of blew up. It pissed me off. I yelled at everyone. I was like, eat your fucking food. You're not getting up until you eat your food. And like, that's not good. Oops. My bad. I'm not perfect. And then I told them all to stay upstairs while I do my podcast. And one just came down. Breathe. But it really doesn't fucking matter, does it? It's not that big of a deal. I made it bigger than it really was. I made it way bigger than it really was. And I showed them how to make it way bigger than it really is. So, however, we acknowledge, we converse about it, and then we move forward. But I really just want to impress upon you the massive importance of being aware that your children are watching everything you do from a very young age. You know, you can think that your kids are in the other room with the other kids playing while you are cutting it up with your friends or whatever you're doing, you know, drinking, hanging out, conversing in the kitchen. Those kids are hearing everything that you're saying. And if they're not aware, their subconscious is hearing everything that you're saying. I'm not saying you have to be perfect all the time, but it is very important to be aware. And when you're aware, not only do you shift yourself, shift your own vibration, create new positive neural pathways that are going to benefit you in your life, all throughout your life, in your relationships, in your work life, but you're also solidifying some positive, beneficial neural connections in the brains of your children. You're serving them on a very deep level when you're aware of the impact that your behavior has on them. And then when shit falls apart, you acknowledge it, you apologize, you talk about it, you hug it out, and you move forward, right? It can be that simple. You don't have to beat up on yourself about it. And it will get easier. I used to be a very snappy mom. I was always snapping at my kids, and I was like that because my parents were like that. And while I take full responsibility for my reactions to my kids, this was a behavior that was very common in my household. My parents were just snappy with me. They would snap. And so I became that snappy person. And then I realized I don't want to be my parents. My parents are awesome, but I don't want to be them. I want the positive aspects of them, but I don't want the negative aspects of them. And so I became really, really intentional about not snapping at my kids. I used to say, oh, I didn't like that reaction. I don't want to do that. But I didn't do the work around it to release it. Now my kids know that they have full permission to be like, okay, mom, you need to take a breath. You need to go meditate. Like you need to get yourself in a better place. So a lot of times you just have to walk away. Sometimes the best thing to do is just walk away. No matter how much you want to get that dig in, how much you want to tell them how right you are, you just walk away. And that will get easier too. And so now I just blew up on my kids, and it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I have blown up on them, and I feel bad about it. And I'm going to go talk to them after this. But we're all human, right? So happy Tuesday. I hope you all have an absolutely amazing, amazing day. And I'm always here to remind you that you're unique and valuable, absolutely amazing person, that you have something very specific to offer the world that no one has to offer. And so as inspiration comes to you, share it with the world. Share what you're inspired about, because inspiration is only born of desire. Inspiration is only born of desire. So as you are inspired about something, I encourage you to step out and share it, because someone out there needs to hear it. Like someone out there today needed to hear that, yes, we lose our shit sometimes. Man, it's okay. We're not perfect. There's always a way to climb out of the hole. There's always a way to be better. And your kids are always watching you. And as you step into the self-care and the inner work and the mindset work, your kids benefit because they are watching and feeling and listening to everything that you do. Whether consciously or subconsciously, we are imprinting on our children every decision we make, every move we make, every word we say, every energy that we express. And so as the mom of the house, I have found that, I am the carrier, like I'm the way shower. My kids teach me a lot, but I'm like the queen of the household, right? Like I set the tone of the household. And so as my vibration is higher and more positive, the whole household reflects that. The whole household reflects that. And as you create a consistent high vibration space, that vibration is easier to maintain. You're less likely to divert from that. And when you do, it feels really gross, feels really icky. And so you really, you have that emotional guidance to push you back over and to help support you to move back into a positive vibration. So I hope everyone has a freaking amazing Tuesday. Like I said, I'm on water fast day 2. The first time I did this, it scared the shit out of me. I was really terrified to do this. This time I was excited because when you can take 3 days to fast, you are resetting your entire immune system. And it allows your body to flush toxins out. Like I have a really bad headache right now. That's why I'm not like screaming and my usual self. But it's a good headache because I know my body is detoxing. And I'm allowing my body to detox, on a very deep cellular level. And when you allow your body to detox on a very deep cellular level, you open up communication with the divine. You open up that vessel, that channel, in order to allow Source, God, Spirit, the divine to work through you and to deliver positive messages to the world and to raise the people up around you and just really to shine your light. And so that's what I encourage you to do. Think about every interaction that you're having with and around your child. Are you shining a light? Are you shining a light for them? We're not shining it all the time. We're human. We don't have to be shining it all the time. But every time we shine the light for our children, we shine the light for all children because we came to teach all of these kids and they came to teach us. And so just remember that they're watching you. They're modeling your behavior. Do as I say, not as I do, does not exist. You can say it, but it just doesn't exist. It's not possible. It's just not possible. I hope you have an absolutely amazing Tuesday. I am loving you deeply as always. Sending you massive, massive high vibes, shining my freaking light. I love you so much. And I'll be back next week. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.